All right, tonight is my first time ever doing a tutorial, so y'all bear with me. But I have my coaster mold and my glitter, my paint, and my mica. I usually use 2 micas and 2 glitters, 1 mica. I just mix it up, whatever somebody wants. But I've already pre-poured my epoxy, 30 milliliters, 1 ounce of part A and part B. So we will I just mix them in a regular old cup, nothing fancy, just a little plastic cup from Dollar Tree. It's not coated or anything, but just a regular cup. And we will pour it into the cup and mix it. And I don't have a preference on epoxy. I don't work for any of the epoxy people. I wish I did. I love FX epoxy, but I use pretty much whatever's on sale. And just pour it all in. I try to get all of it out that I can. I'm not gonna get every drop, but get most of it. Sorry, I sound weird. Stopped up, of course. I'm from Mississippi, so it's 70 degrees in the daytime and 30 to 40 degrees at night and in the morning. So we never really get well this time of year anyway. And of course, there are a million different ways, I'm sure, of how to do these coasters, but I was asked to do a tutorial, so I'm going to try to show you how I do mine. Get it all mixed up in here. And yes, they do take a lot of epoxy. I've noticed that when I first started doing coasters, they take a lot more to me than it takes for me to do a tumbler. So I do recommend, if you're just trying it out, find you some cheap epoxy like at Michael's or Hobby Lobby or somewhere, and use a coupon until you kind of figure out your process, and then you can go from there. But once I get it all poured in, I just mix it up. Mix it really good. I don't really have a preference on fast or slow or anything like that. I just try to get it all mixed up really good. Just mixing. Try to scrape off the sides and the bottom. Yes, I have bubbles in here, but they will eventually rise to the top, and I just pop them with the heat gun. I usually let this epoxy sit for about 3 to 4 minutes before I hit it with the heat gun to kind of let the bubbles rise to the top. But because I'm doing this tutorial, I don't want you all to just kind of sit around and wait for my bubbles to pop. So I have a couple of bubbles in there. Hope you all can see that. I'm not really good at this. This is my first time, so bear with me. But I just let it sit for a minute, and I just use my little handy dandy heat gun that I got from I think Harbor Freight, maybe $7, $8. Just kind of hit it with a little bit of heat, and I just stir it a little bit more, and it kind of pops some of those bubbles. And then as you stir, of course, you're gonna get more, but they start to smooth out as you keep stirring. So you don't have that many. Oops, that's a piece of the stick in there. You better get another stick. Oops. Well, I thought I had another stick. There's one. Okay, so hit it again with the heat gun. One more time. And now we'll get down to pouring and mixing our colors. Just mixing again. Trying to stay on camera, sorry, it's my first time. Again. Now that we got it all mixed up and ready, I just pour into one of my little medicine cups. I don't really measure, I don't really know how much I use, but I just kind of fill it up 3/4 of the way, because you got to put your glitter and Meecas in there too. I'm just gonna pour some more in there. Just sit that to the side. And for this one, I just picked just an acrylic blue. I think I got this from Hobby Lobby or somewhere. I'm not really sure exactly where, but there's probably not much in here. But I'm just gonna, it doesn't take very much to color the epoxy. So just a drop of that. And I'm using a antique copper Mica, just the Pearl EX brand from Michael's, Amazon, I believe, Hobby Lobby, all of them. And it doesn't take but just, I mean, when I say a dab, I mean, it doesn't take much of the Meeca powder at all. And most of the time I do put this in before I put my epoxy in, but I guess it doesn't really matter. Just as long as you get it in and get it stirred up. Just mixing up the blue, navy blue. Get it good mixed up in there. And then we will mix up our Meeca powder. Like I said, it doesn't take much at all to get these colors. I mean, a pinch of Meeca goes a long way. And then we'll mix up our glitter. I have to be careful when I mix the glitter because it's like dust. If you mix it too quick, it'll like blow out of the cup. And I probably don't have enough glitter in here but you can't add too much at one time, especially with these little medicine cups. So I'm gonna try to hurry up. The weather is getting bad here, if I may say so. But you don't have to put these on a turner, so you don't have to worry about the power going out or anything. Just mix glitter really good. And I always try to start with a mica or a dye or whatever, but since this one I have 2 colors and 1 glitter, I guess we'll start with a little bit of glitter at the tip of this one. So we got our glitter, the gold, and now we're gonna pour into our molds. Like I said, it's probably a million ways to do this. This is just the way that I do it. And I just start at the corners. And I don't use very much at the beginning. Just kind of pour from side to side. And just go to the next one. I kind of try to make them all the same size, but of course the epoxy is gonna flow, so you don't ever know how far it's gonna go. But that's pretty much it. And then I'll go with some blue. And you just pour them from side to side, kind of just in your own way. There's no right or wrong way to do this, I don't think. I'm just filling it in a little bit. And then we will do our brown Mica. Just pour it next to the blue. And just go from side to side. I'm gonna do the next side. Like I said, they're all gonna look different. You're not gonna get one that's gonna be the same exact color on each piece, because epoxy kind of does what it wants to do. Alrighty, now we'll come back with some more gold. And just pouring from side to side. Just keep going to the next one. And we need more epoxy for the gold glitter. So we'll just put some more in there. We'll add some more glitter to this one. And just mix it up. I think we'll go with another round of blue in there, just because we have some left. And like I said, there's no right or wrong way to do this. You just kind of experimenting every time. I've learned that from working with epoxy. Just does its own thing. You can always go back into like the insides. Oh, I dropped a piece on the gold. And pour, and it'll push that epoxy out a little if you want. Like you can go in with this brown or copper, antique copper color. And push them out a little. And just pushes your colors out. And then you can finish up with the gold. And just fill in the, don't have very much on this corner. And just fill it in. That's why I told you it takes a lot of epoxy to me to do these things. Like, I don't ever feel like I have enough. So I always try to mix an abundance of it. And then what I don't use, I just kind of pour in an extra mold that I might have laying around somewhere. Make a keychain or something. And again, we need a little bit more for the gold. Just mix it up. And we will pour the rest. I may have to mix just a little bit more, as you see, but that's why I pour, I mix a little bit more epoxy, so I'll have some on hand where I won't have to stop and, you know, mix part A and part B again. I just mix enough in my cup to where I can just fill in when I need to, just a little bit more, and we should be done. Again, I'm trying to stay on camera. I'm sorry if I'm not. This is my very first tutorial. But we will fill in the rest of this one coaster. So you never know what they look like. I go to bed with them looking one way and I wake up and they look totally different. So we shall see what these look like. I have just a little bit of blue left. So I think I'm gonna just kind of pour a little bit on this little thin blue line here to kind of see if I can't spread that out a little bit, give it a little bit more color right there. Yeah, there we go. And I like to mess with stuff. Like, I can never leave it alone. If I could leave it alone, it would probably be okay. But I can't. So what I usually do is I'll take my little popsicle stick here and I'll just kind of drag my colors out a little bit, just to kind of mix them a little, just to give it a little bit of, I don't know, I guess you can say a little art. I don't know the proper word. I just kind of drag them out a tad, not very much, but that's about all I do. And we will see what they look like in the morning. Like I said, you just mix up your epoxy into your cups, part A, part B. Pour into your medicine cups here. And then you put your colors in there with your epoxy. And then you just pour at your own pace, or however you want to pour. And I thank you all. I'm going to try to zoom in here so you can kind of see that a little better. Oops, sorry, I'm all in front of the camera. And then I'll bring it right on top of it. That way you can kind of see what it looks like now, and maybe in the morning it'll look different. So thank y'all, and I hope this really helps someone. If you have any questions, just shoot me a message or comment, and I will do my very, very best to answer. Thanks. Bye-bye.